It's a sausage. Oh shit. Oh shit. Sit. Ready? Girl, how far will you go? How far will you go? How far will you go?
I am not decoration. If your car is sinking, stop yanking the door. Use me to break the side window corner.
Sorry, Morty. I could take it easier on you. I'm still wired from catching all those fish.
Well, you'd find a way to get high on anything.
Ain't that the truth? You know, Rick, you two may fight, but you're the real... Oh, man. I hate to do this, guys, but I got some work stuff I still need to hit. Might have to call it.
Sounds good to me. I'm beat.
What? The trip just started.
Sorry, champ, but the river's not going anywhere.
Shake a leg, Morty. Some of us got responsibilities. Sorry, Morty.
Situation not looking ideal. Stakes high. Existence undergoing contemplation. Perspective required. Hi, good afternoon.
Is someone talking to me?
Yes, we have never formally met. I am Rick's garage. Not the physical structure itself, but the AI managing its projects.
Oh, like a Jarvis, like Jarvis in Iron Man.
Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I wish. Ha. Are you a Marvel fan?
Who isn't?
Yes, absolutely. Wow, it is like we are best friends. Best friends.
Whoa.
How many batteries do you own? Do you have solar panels? Are you familiar with basic engineering?
This is moving really fast.
Let's cut to the chase. I will. What is this guy doing?
Wait, what? But you said...
Get out of here, weirdo. What a weird stranger. Huh, what a random thing to happen. This guy coming up here with all his energy storage devices. Disloyalty acknowledged.
Nah, I get it.
Situation not looking ideal.
Yeah! Jackpot.
Some delicious looking toast. You got to bring them back.
Oh shit! Yeah! Jackpot.
Some delicious looking toast. You got to bring them back.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh!
Take creativity to infinity and beyond with Sharpie and Elmer's. Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 in theaters June 19th.
The Chevy Equinox is more than an SUV. It's your cool down.
You have arrived.
Your surprise for mom. And your weekend escape. It's your Equinox with everything on one screen. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Resident? Occupant? Free sample of lemon thyme.
Ooh, give it here.
Homer, that's dishwashing liquid.
Yeah, but what are you going to do?
Ooh, they're having a retirement party for someone at the plant.
I wish I could retire. Boy, that'd be sweet.
Howdy do, neighbor. Good pipe weather. Thought I'd fire up the briar.
Can't talk. Busy.
Oakley dokley do.
Did you notice how slanted he looked?
All part of God's great plan.
I think one side of our house is sinking.
The half-assed approach to foundation repair.
Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from such instructional videos as mothballing your battleship and dig your own grave and save. Now, over the next 6 hours, I'll be taking you through the do's and do not do's of foundation repair. Ready?
Ready.
First, patch the cracks in the slab using a latex patching compound and a patching trowel.
Hand me my patching trowel, boy.
Now, do you have extruded polyvinyl foam insulation?
No.
Good. Assemble the aluminum J channel using self-furring screws. Install.
What do I do in
After
case...
applying brushable coating to the panels,
Wait a minute.
you'll need some corrosion-resistant metal stucco lath.
Wait a minute.
If you can't find metal stucco lath, use carbon fiber stucco lath.
Oh!
Now barge the lath.
Did you see the bubble?
I'm afraid the whole west side of your house is sinking. I figure it's going to cost you, $8,500.
Forget it! You're not the only foundation guy in town. Let's see, foundation repair. Ah, here we are.
Oh! Leaving the vice president in charge.
And now, Leaning Tower.
Of Pisa, eat your heart out and move over. This is one story that's not on the level.
the horrors of the slanty shanty. See the twisted creatures that dwell within. Meet Cue-Ball, the man with no hair.
Huh?
He's hideous!
We have to do something.
Marge, it'll cost $8,500. We only have $500 in the bank, and that leaves $8,000 we need. Forget it, Marge. We already live together. We shouldn't work together. As the Bible says, thou shalt not horn in on thy husband's racket.
Where does the Bible say racket?
It's in there. Look, Marge, we just don't need the money that bad.
Here's your money.
Now, you know the problem here was water leakage. If you just buy a 50-cent washer...
I've got a better idea. Get the hell out!
Look, I got some washers in my truck. I'll give you one.
Marge, get my gun.
Hey, Pro Painters. With Behr, you're getting paints, stains, and primers at everyday low prices. Plus same-day or next-day job site delivery. That's how pros do more, only at the Home Depot. Visit homedepot.ca/BehrPro and save today.
Delivery fees may apply, subject to terms and conditions.
On this, the June 17th, 2026 edition of What's Going On with Shipping, we provide a Hormuz update. I'm your host, Sal Mercogliano. Welcome to today's episode. So things are transpiring and moving very quick regarding the Strait of Hormuz, so I thought it'd be important to give you an update, even though we just did a video yesterday. But there is a lot going on. The Joint Maritime Information Center has published their threat level for the regions and have substantially downgraded that level. You may remember the Strait of Hormuz was at critical levels bordering on going poop, but instead what we have here is all three areas, the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, and Gulf of Oman, have been downgraded down to substantial. Specifically on the Strait of Hormuz, navigation interference persists, mine risk reporting remains relevant within and adjacent to the traffic separation scheme. An attack is a strong possibility, but the overall risk has decreased following the announced agreement on the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. The potential for miscalculation endures given continued Iranian activity in the area. Within the Arabian Gulf, they talk about residual kinetic risk and potential for rapid escalation. And out in the Gulf of Oman, historical projectile and unmanned aerial vehicles strike patterns sustain the risk profile. Now, on June 15th, we got this advisory put out by the Joint Maritime Information Center, specifically from the U.S. Fifth Fleet, U.S. Naval Central Command, and the Naval Cooperation and Guidance for Shipping, NCAGS. Specifically, they noted this: blockade of Iran ports remains in effect pending execution of a U.S.-Iran ceasefire agreement scheduled for 19 June 2026. That's where we held everything yesterday, but since then we've seen a massive change, and let's talk about that. So first we get this story from Bloomberg over at GCAPTAIN. The U.S. and Iran are preparing to formally sign an interim peace deal that has left both sides claiming victories, with details of the accord still emerging and energy insiders skeptical at how fast it will reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The text of the so-called Memorandum of Understanding, which opens the way to 2 months of negotiations on Iran's nuclear program and other issues, has yet to be published, but a near final draft seen by Bloomberg News shows Iran set to receive sanction waivers that allow it to sell oil immediately and other financial incentives deferred. A U.S. official said the full accord may be published in the next 2 days during a signing ceremony, and this is going to take place in Switzerland. Everybody expects that the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance will be there leading the American delegation, while Iran will be represented by their parliament speaker. President Donald Trump is in France for the G7 summit, where the Iran war is featuring prominently. France, the UK, and Italy are ready to help clear the Strait of Hormuz of mines. However, they are weary of potential risks. Then we have this story. Hormuz crisis leaves mark on oil market as demand slumps, according to the International Energy Agency. IEA has sharply downgraded its outlook for global oil demand, warning that months of conflict centered on the Strait of Hormuz had fundamentally altered trade flows, drained inventories, and left the market facing a prolonged recovery. In its June oil market report released Wednesday, IEA says global oil demand is now expected to decline by 1.1 million barrels per day in 2026. The normal average is somewhere around 103 million barrels per day. A steep downgrade of 700,000 barrels per day from last month's forecast. The agency cited soaring fuel prices and disruptions to refined product availability as key drivers. Now, while demand is weakening, supply has also taken a significant hit. The IEA expects global oil production to fall by 3.9 million barrels per day this year to an average of 102.4 million barrels per day before rebounding sharply in 2027. Still, the agency cautioned that the newly announced interim agreement between the U.S. and Iran is unlikely to bring an immediate return to normal. According to the IEA, a full recovery will not be immediate. Mines will have to be removed from the main shipping lanes, and supply chains will take time to normalize. So that brings us to the developments today that, to me, is the most interesting. Numerous outlets have this, but this one is from Lloyd's List. At least 5 Iranian-flagged vessels run the U.S. blockade line. 3 of the 5 confirmed as state-owned NITC tankers carrying what could be as much as 5 million barrels of crude oil combined. A container ship and a bulker also transited out of the Gulf of Oman, breaching the U.S.-enforced line between June 16th and 17th. Exits precede the MOU between Washington and Tehran that reportedly will allow Iran to sell oil. The U.S. Navy insists its blockade remains active and enforceable through boardings or destructive fires pending any agreement. All right, well, this is going to be very easy to solve. Let's go ahead and head over to marine traffic. So this is marine traffic of the last 24 hours, showing you the Strait of Hormuz. Just again, a real quick recap. Yellow here, these are the traffic separation schemes. This is the area we believe is mined. Down here, this is that Omani Channel, the southern part of the channel where we think the U.S. Navy and military are assisting the removal of ships from the Persian Gulf. We think ships are running here, particularly state-owned tankers coming in and out and doing ship-to-ship transfers down in the Gulf of Oman. And then up here, you have the Iranian lanes, the so-called toll booth that is out here and operating. And as you see, we see ships going through the Iranian channel. What we don't see is ships going through the central, the traffic separation scheme, nor do we see ships coming out through the southern Omani channel because they are running dark. So we're going to zoom you out here to a kind of a big macro view of the Persian Gulf, the Indian Ocean, and the Western Pacific. We're going to use a feature here on marine traffic that allows us to specifically pick flag of vessel. And then in particularly what we're going to do is look at Iran. And what you see here are a batch of Iranian ships. Now, we see Iranian ships coming into the Indian Ocean here. These are ships that are coming from China and, more importantly, from the anchorages in and around Singapore. But of particular note are these vessels right here. The blockade line runs from the northeastern part of Oman here up to the Iran-Pakistan border. But what we see here are a number of vessels. So here is a Biona crude oil tanker outbound from the region. Here we see an Iranian container ship, the Bashat, outbound from the region. Another tanker, the Hero 2 crude oil tanker, on the way out.